Hi everyone, I'm Hamdullah and you're watching Trendsetters Academy. So this is the third lecture here, and now today we will talk about JavaScript, what really this JavaScript is. So we've done about HTML and CSS, so you can watch my previous lectures there and you will see what really HTML and CSS is. And this lecture is purely for the absolute beginners who really don't know what really JavaScript is. So let's start the lecture and let's see what the real things are going on here. So JavaScript, what really this JavaScript thing is? JavaScript is the programming language of the web. So fine with this thing. All modern HTML pages are using JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript is the default scripting language in all modern browsers and in HTML5. So you got this thing, like in these 3 points what we really learn the thing here is JavaScript is the programming language of web. So if you really want to develop some awesome page and you want to perform some sort of JavaScripting there, so you can use JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript is probably the most popular programming language in the world. Okay, it is the language for HTML, for the web, for computers, servers, laptops, tablets, smartphones, and more. JavaScript can change HTML elements, which make it very powerful. So JavaScript is basically the most powerful language on the whole world. So if you learn the JavaScript thing, so you can create some massive applications and some massive websites there. So I'm excited about this thing, what really the things are going around here. So we'll see here why this really JavaScript thing, why we really need this JavaScript, why not other languages there. So why we really need this JavaScript, why JavaScript is here. So JavaScript is one of the three languages all web developers must learn. Okay, so the first thing is HTML to define the content of web pages, the CSS to specify the layout of web pages, the third thing is JavaScript to program the behavior of web pages. As I told you before in my previous lecture, you will find out what really HTML and CSS, the detailed description, detailed explanation about HTML and CSS. So this is all about JavaScript here. The JavaScript with having versus Java. JavaScript and Java are different languages, both in concept and design. JavaScript was intended by Brendan to be used in Netscape. Okay, so Netscape is the older web browser there, but now it's no longer existed. So in 1995 and was adopted by the ECMA Standard Association in 1997. JavaScript. So here is a basic example about JavaScript, what really this thing is. Like you created some heading there, my first JavaScript, and then you say right in paragraph JavaScript can change the content of an HTML element. Okay, now this is the JavaScript thing here. Okay, so what you do here, you're creating a button and you say type button. Okay, you are telling is this is the type button, and when you say there is a method here on click, and you're telling it that there is a function, my function, and when I click on this button, it just invoke this function, it just call this function. This function might be present somewhere in this page. Let's see where this function is, and there is a paragraph having this is the demonstration and ID. I'm giving the ID here, demo. Like in my previous lecture I put a class here. You can put a class, you can put a ID. There are different methods here available. We will see in detailed explanation in later lectures. So let's come to the point. My function, my function is present somewhere else in my whole page, and I will see where this, and you are seeing here the script tag. There's a script tag, and in this script tag I say function, my function. I'm saying this is my function, and this is the reserved word function. Okay, so this is my function here, which is this, and when I click on this button, it just invoke on click find this my function in the whole document, and when it find, it say document this document dot get element by id demo. Okay, so what really the id is this id demo, id demo dot inner html dot. So this is the html here, so I'm saying dot inner html equal to hello javascript. So when I click on this button, this is demonstration, this is demonstration will change into hello JavaScript. So this is the thing here. Let's see, and let's find out the thing here. We will just do a practical stuff here, so you understand what really the thing is here. Okay, so let's open the files and we will see. So I open the file here, and this is my first web, as I wrote in my previous lectures. You will find out the thing how I done this thing there. And now I am writing a script here, and what I will do here, I will just write another paragraph here. Like I'm just writing a paragraph here, and I am saying what I am saying here. I'm just putting its id here, id equal to the same as mentioned in the example id demo, and I am saying here this is demonstration, STRATION. This is demonstration here, and now I'm just putting a closing tag here. So this is done here. Okay, so when I save this file here and when I run this, so you will see this is demonstration. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will create a button, and when I click on this, on that button, this text, this demonstration will be changed into hello JavaScript. So let's see how this thing is done. We will see in our style. I'm just copying this text here. Okay, so I'm just copying this thing, this button stuff, this thing, and just pasting it where I want to paste, wherever, because this is the HTML stuff here. Like you are creating a button right now, you are creating a button, and when you save this line, you will see the thing here as there's a button here. Okay, but right now when I click on this button, there's no function here. Okay, so I didn't create any sort of script, but this, you can create your button in HTML like this. Okay, so you can create your HTML button like this. The thing is present here, so how you can create your HTML button. So this is the button here. So I created the button, and I'm saying when I click on this button, my function might be there, must be there, so it just invoked. So you must remember the thing here is whenever you want to write a script there, so you must write it in a body. Okay, not outside the body. There are different ways there, we will discuss in later after a few minutes. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just copying this script here. Okay, I'm just copying this script here, and now I'm going to paste it in my last line here. Okay, so I'm just pasting this script, nothing else. I just created a function, my function, and I'm saying document dot get element by id, and saying this is the demo here. The demo is this id of this. Okay, if I want to change, like I say this is my intro body or whatever, so I say this is my intro id, intro JavaScript id, or whatever the thing there you want to write. So I say this is my intro id. Okay, so this is my intro id, and when I save it, what just happened, you will see when I save it and when I run it again. Now I'm going to run it again. Now when I click on this button, it changes into hello JavaScript. Okay, I hope you understand this thing. So now we will move further and we will see what really the other things in JavaScript are. Okay, so this is the basic thing, and this is another example of JavaScript. What really this example is going to do, let me, okay, now the thing is clear. So what really this thing is, please input a number between 1 and 10. Okay, when you input a number here, button type, button on click, my function, okay, it's submit. So this button is created, and there is, you are getting some sort of input here. Okay, so when you, there is an id demo, and you are creating function, and there is you are creating some sort of variables, and then you are getting a value from that input text. Okay, so you are getting here, and when this thing is done, you are getting here. So what if x is not a number or less than 1 or greater than 10, so what it say input not valid, and if this text is valid, input okay. Okay, and in last it just gets the id and just pass it here, and it just this text. When this text is okay, just pass this to this id. So this means whenever you want to dynamically handle your web page, your website, so you have to use JavaScript here. Okay, so now we will see how this thing is working. What we will going to do, we will create the thing there and we will see how this thing is working. Okay, so I think we have to create a brand new page here because it's like stuff mm, so I'm going to create a new page. Okay, and I'm this might be another example of HTML. So what I'm going to do, I'm just creating control N. Okay, so this is my new page here, and what I will do, I will write not doc type. It quite takes a lot of time, so just copy the thing here and we'll see how this thing is going on. So I just copy this thing for saving the time. I just copy this thing and just paste it here, and here I will tell you what really happened. I created doc type, fine with the thing, HTML body tag, please input the number 1 and 10 between these numbers. Okay, and here I am getting the input. So you can get input like this. Just remember the thing, you can get input like this. These are all the HTML tags before the script tags. These are all the HTML tags. Okay, so you are saying to a person, please input 1 and 10, between 1 and 10, and you are getting the input here, and you are writing, you are declaring a button here. Now what really you need to do, you have to get the number from this, so you must put the id there, id num. Just change this number. Okay, you are getting id numbers. Okay, so what you do here, you get the id here, and now when you put the input here, so this input passed here numbers dot value. Okay, so here is you are getting the value input field with id numbers. So here this is the command. Okay, I hope you understand this thing, what really these things are going around here. So when you run this thing and when you save it and when you run it, what really happened here is you will see by your own eyes here. When I save it and I say this is my first JavaScript task. Okay, dot html. Okay, so right now I'm going inline text, like I'm going inline JavaScript stuff, like the same I did with CSS. So I'm just going to save it here. Okay, so now this thing is saved, and let's see if my first JavaScript is here. So when I open it and I run it, so what it happened here is, please input a number between 1 and 10, and if I say 2 and I submit it, input okay. But if I say 20 and again I input not valid. But if again I say 10, what it do, it say input okay. So I hope this thing is clear. This is another example of how you can handle JavaScript and why we really need this JavaScript thing is. Okay, so I hope you understand this thing. So now let's come back towards the next example and what really the next things are there. So here are the few things available. You can perform it by your own self and you will see what really these things are going around here. These are the JavaScript commands. Okay, if you want to change the heading, how you can change this, my first page, what you say, document.getElement by id. So here the id, you put the h1 as the id my h dot inner html and change this my first page or whatever. If you want to change the paragraph, just put the id there and say dot inner html and my first paragraph. So this value pass to this and simply the thing is going to be changed. So if you want to create some sort of logic there and you want to pass some sort of variables, so how you can create this, you are declaring the variable here and just passing the value, declaring the variable and passing the value here. As you say the example, this command tells us you are declaring as give it to value of 5 and you are declare y and give it to the value of x plus 2. So I hope you understand this thing. So here is another thing here. The code below will change the heading with ID. Okay, and the paragraph with ID is in my web page. Okay, so you can change your IDs here. How you can do this thing here? So it will say that things are going around here. Okay, so you can do it by yourself. That's quite so awesome. So here are a few other things, like these are the multi-line comments, and these are things that are using comments to prevent execution. Okay, so when you put a comment, it will not execute. Okay, it will for your own thing, like you put the comment here, so it will never execute. So what other things are here? JavaScript placement. You can place any number of scripts in an HTML document. Scripts can be placed in the body tag or in the head section of the HTML page, okay, or in both. It is a good idea to place script at the bottom of the body element to improve page load, because HTML loading is not blocked by the scripting loading. Scripts can also be placed in external files. External scripts are practical when the same code is used in many different web pages. Script files have the files extension .js. Okay, I hope. So this is all about JavaScript. So I hope you understand this thing. And one thing more about the things, the previous lectures are about HTML and CSS. So in further in my future lectures, I will tell you about web server, what really the web server is. And the next thing around here is I really need your subscription, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I hope for the best. There are a lot of things are going around here, like in future things, I will develop the things in Firebase, in Android. Now I'm going towards the web, and then later on we will move toward PHP and other stuffs there. So if there is any language you want to learn, please comment and please tell me. I will figure out how we develop the thing there, and together we develop an awesome thing. Hope for the best. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Tada.